Good afternoon, Musketeers. It's December 1st, 2017. I'm Hannah Michaels.
And I'm Lucas Robbins. This is Xavier News.
From the Xavier University Television Studio, this is Xavier News. Your campus, your region, your world. This is Xavier News.
Starting with international news, Monday came with warnings regarding the volcanic eruption of Mount Ajung on the Indonesian island of Bali. Bali's international airport closed after reports of ash spewing over 5 miles into the sky could potentially damage aircrafts. The closure left 60,000 passengers stranded until reopening yesterday. More than 100,000 people living as close as 7 miles from the area were told to evacuate as loud explosions were heard earlier in the week. Indonesian scientists are predicting a bigger explosion in the days to come, but for now, lava, ash, sulfur, and carbon dioxide will continue to fill the air. The last Mount Ajung eruption was in 1963 and killed more than 1,600 people. However, scientists are concerned about the after effects of this more recent volcanic eruption due to the amounts of gases released into the atmosphere, potentially disrupting the planet's climate.
The NBC Today show host Matt Lauer was fired on Wednesday after accusations of sexual assault and misconduct. NBC News' Stephanie Gosk says as many as 8 accusers have come forward. Lauer is one of the longest-running morning show hosts, anchoring the show for 20 years. He was the highest-paid anchor in television news with a $20 million annual salary. The first known alleged incident of sexual misconduct by Lauer was in 2001, where he summoned a former female employee to the office, locked the door with a secret button under his desk, and sexually assaulted her. Several female guests of the Today Show have also reported awkward and uncomfortable interviews with Lauer, including Sandra Bullock in 2009 and Anne Hathaway in 2012. Yesterday, Lauer expressed sorrow and regret for the pain that he has caused in his first statement since his firing. Accusations against Lauer comes amid several other high-profile cases of sexual abuse in TV news, including Bill O'Reilly of Fox News and Charlie Rose of CBS.
The Congenital Heart Walk took place here in the Queen City to raise money to support those affected by congenital heart disease and defects. Will
Jossart has more on the story.
Cincinnati's 2017 Congenital Heart Walk started with early morning volunteers setting up. Pretty soon, the walkers began to arrive. Before the walk started, there were games and characters who walked around taking pictures with kids. The walkers came in teams to support their loved ones and to raise money for the cause. There was a contest for the best designed team shirt. I spoke with Julie Ward about what the walk means to her.
This walk took to my entire family, and there's about 45 of us here. It means a lot to us because losing our son, my grandson's father, nephew, my daughter's brother, he has a twin sister he left behind, another sister, his wife. We're here to support this community and give it everything that we can.
The walk was sponsored by ConqueringCHD.org, the Adult Congenital Heart Foundation, the Children's Heart Foundation, and Cincinnati Children's Hospital. With over 600 people in attendance, the walk was a resounding success. For more information on how to become a part of the walk, please visit congenitalheartwalk.org.
For some news from the UK, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have recently announced their engagement to the world. 33-year-old Prince Harry quietly proposed earlier this month to 36-year-old Markle, who will be the first American divorcee in 81 years to marry into the royal family. The couple has been dating for just over a year and are excited to profess their vows at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. The wedding will take place next May when Markle becomes a British citizen. Harry's brother Prince William said, quote, "We're very excited, delighted for them both. We're wishing them all the happiness at this very exciting time," end quote.
In other news, a Cincinnati teenager's attempt to kill bed bugs ended poorly around midnight on Wednesday when the 13-year-old set fire to his mattress using alcohol and matches. The fire quickly grew out of control and spread to the building's attic, resulting in a $300,000 worth of damages to 6 different apartment units and displaced 3 adults and 5 children. No injuries or deaths were caused in the blaze, and the Red Cross is working to help the affected families find housing.
How do we as everyday people support others affected by crisis? Local nonprofit, the Cincinnati Computer Cooperative, may be an answer to that.
Our very own Daniel Stenger has more with the story.
We're here at the Cincinnati Computer Cooperative, a computer recycler in Woodlawn, Ohio. We just spoke to some of the employees, so let's go inside and check it out. While at the Cincinnati Computer Cooperative, I spoke to Frank Adams, Executive Director, about their programs.
My name is Frank Adams. I'm Executive Director at the Cincinnati Computer Cooperative. We're an all-volunteer nonprofit. We've been in existence since 2002. What we do is we refurbish electronics for underserved populations, meaning people who otherwise couldn't afford computers. So the way we operate is that businesses and individuals donate their computers to us when they're done with them. We fix them up, and then we make them available to people at very low cost. We're a Microsoft registered refurbisher, which means that Microsoft grants us licenses at affordable prices as long as we use those licenses for some form of social benefit. They also have strict requirements about our hardware and our level of quality, and that we offer a warranty, which we do. It's a 1-year warranty.
The Cincinnati Computer Cooperative offers desktops from $75, laptops from $150, and Macs from $200. The cooperative does much more than simply sell computers, though.
In addition to making computers available to people in the area, we also have a mission to keep electronic waste out of landfills. And so since our inception, we've probably kept about 4 million pounds of e-waste out of public landfill. And e-waste, though it doesn't seem very toxic, contains a lot of lead and cadmium and other environmental toxins that are much better used by being reused rather than just buried and put to waste. Our hours of operation for computer sales are Tuesday afternoon from 3 till 7, Wednesday evening from 3 till 9, Thursday afternoon 3 till 7, Friday 3 till 7, and Saturday 9 a.m. till noon.
For Xavier News, I'm Daniel Stenger.
Thanks for the story, Daniel. In other Cincinnati news, the Claremont Animal Care Humane Society will be taking over the Claremont County Animal Shelter starting January 1st next year. CARE, standing for Compassion, Advocacy, Rescue, and Education, hopes to draw attention to the shelter to promote adoption. Claremont County Commissioners awarded the new CARE Society $310,000 of a renewable contract. The last known management change took place in 2015 when the former Humane Society was scrutinized by animal rights activists for issues including the euthanization of a large number of dogs. Now the location will be a no-kill shelter. Claremont Animal Care President Robin Tackett said, quote, "We are honored by the trust placed in us by the county, and we are committed to making Claremont County the model for open intake, no-kill animal sheltering in the state of Ohio," end quote. The shelter board will be managed by rescue groups and animal welfare activists who will engage the community in fundraising events, volunteering, donating, and adopting.
In more Queen City news, Major League Soccer announced the 4 finalist cities for 2 new expansion teams on Wednesday, and local team FC Cincinnati was among them. FC Cincinnati and the City of Cincinnati will compete against soccer clubs in Sacramento, Detroit, and Nashville to be part of one of the fastest growing sports leagues in the country. Cincinnati's bid was aided by several new pieces of legislation in the local government. These included a $36 million to help build the stadium in Oakley, and a unanimous vote to build a $15 million parking garage with 1,000 spaces for the would-be stadium, and a new infrastructure financing plan for the new stadium. FC Cincinnati responded to the finalist announcements with a tweet saying it was, quote, "honored to be identified as one of the 4 finalists for one of the next 2 MLS expansion slots," end quote. On December 6th, the soccer associations from Cincinnati, Nashville, Sacramento, and Detroit will make formal presentations for their inclusion into the MLS. Commissioner Don Garber and the league's expansion committee. Best of luck to FC Cincinnati in their bid to be the 3rd major professional sports team in Cincinnati.
For some campus news, the Crosstown Shootout is tomorrow, as we all know. Students who have gotten tickets have the opportunity to camp out outside the Cintas Center tonight, starting at 5 o'clock until the game at noon tomorrow. This is a huge game, as Xavier will take on our ultimate rival, University of Cincinnati. Resident Life wishes to remind students that all policies remain in place for the campout. No furniture should be removed from the dorm rooms, all signs and windows should be appropriate, and do not allow people you don't know into your dorm buildings. Students should be good sports and reflect Xavier's values. Those who are camping out are also reminded to dress warm and wear proper attire. Tents are permitted, and members of your party should be stationed at your side at all times. Best of luck to our Musketeers.
Yesterday evening, Xavier University's theater department began to stage a duo of shows, The Laramie Project and The Laramie Project 10 Years Later. The show is about the death of Matthew Shepard in 1998. The 21-year-old Matthew was kidnapped, tortured, and killed in Laramie, Wyoming, due solely based on his sexual orientation. The brutality and hatefulness of this attack shocked and horrified the nation. And less than a month later, the Tectonic Theater Company arrived in Laramie and conducted hundreds of interviews to turn the memories of the townspeople into the show. The result was The Laramie Project, and a decade later, the Tectonic Theater Company returned to the town to create the second show called The Laramie Project 10 Years Later. These two shows will be performed in the Gallagher Student Center Theater in Xavier University until Sunday. Tickets are on sale right now at xavier.edu/theater.
All right, that's all from the news desk, people.
We'll be right back with Zachary Kohler and the Xavier Sports Report.
Happy Friday, Musketeers. I'm Zachary Kohler, and welcome back to the Xavier Sports Report. The Xavier men's basketball team bounced back from their loss against Arizona State to get a huge win Tuesday night over the previously undefeated and 16th-ranked Baylor Bears by a score of 76-63. In front of another sold-out crowd at the Cintas Center, the Musketeers jumped out to an early lead and held on tight thanks to the scoring ability of senior guard J.P. McCura, who scored 10 of the Musketeers' first 18 points. McCura had another impressive performance, raking up 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Junior forward Kaiser Gates continued his hot start to the season, scoring a career-high 19 points while shooting 60% from the field. Senior Trayvon Blewett and freshman Najee Marshall also scored in double figures to help boost the Musketeers past the Baylor Bears. Xavier's next game is the one we've all been waiting for, as the Musketeers look to take down the 11th-ranked University of Cincinnati in the Skyline Crosstown Shootout this Saturday at noon. The Xavier women's basketball team advanced their record to 4-1 on Wednesday with a home court victory over Purdue University Fort Wayne by a score of 62-50. Senior Jada Bird filled the stat sheet, scoring a career-high 19 points and 6 assists while adding 4 rebounds and 2 steals. Anina Ijanen matched her career high in scoring with 13 points on 6 for 13 shooting, while also pulling down a team high of 8 rebounds. The Musketeers will attempt to build off this big win as they return to action on Monday against Wake Forest. Tip-off is slated for 7 p.m. at the Cintas Center. The dominant Xavier swimming team closes out the fall season by sending 9 Musketeers to compete in the USA Swimming Winter Nationals at Ohio State this week. Emily Connors, Paxton Drew, Caroline Gartner, and Abigail Garner will represent Xavier on the women's side, posting qualifying times in the 200 free relay, which competes on Friday, and the 400 free relay, which will compete on Saturday. Junior Caroline Gartner will also compete in a pair of individual events. On the men's side, David Bunnell, Matthew Dwyer, Enrique Hernandez, Samuel Hans, and Nathan Runyon posted qualifying times for the Musketeers. And that's all from the sports desk. Best of luck to all the games this weekend, and as always, let's go X.